Hello and welcome. We are the National Veterans Technical Assistance Center, NVTAC, and we're excited to be with you today as we walk through this focused microlearning session on hiring an HVRP case manager. So whether you're part of a small agency, new to HVRP, or just preparing for future staffing needs, this session is designed to help you make one of the most important decisions in your HVRP grants journey: who you hire to work directly with HVRP participants. The case manager is often the first and last point of contact for a veteran. They are the person helping someone navigate some of the hardest moments of their life, while also connecting them to a future fulfilled with opportunity. That's not a role to take lightly. Case management is a client centered approach in delivery of individualized career services designed to develop comprehensive employment plans for participants, assist participants to overcome barriers to employment, ensure access to the necessary training and supportive services that impact relevant skills, and connect participants with high quality career opportunities, and provide support during program participation and after job placement. So let's walk through what it takes to identify, interview, and invest in someone who will help move veterans from crisis to stability with compassion and results. So, for this session, here are the objectives: why the right staff matters, core competencies to look for, behavior qualities that drive results, capturing the role, compliance reminder, interviewing, common hiring challenges, why pay matters, building for success, and a recap. Why hiring the right staff matters. Hiring the right person isn't just a good idea, it's a grant requirement tied to outcomes, performance, and the overall success of your program. Your case manager holds a unique position of influence. They build trust with veterans who may be disconnected from systems, coordinate housing, employment, and support services, track progress, and document stories that reflect transformation. If they're effective, veterans stabilize, your grant program thrives, and your performance data tells a story of impact. But if the wrong person is hired, someone who doesn't engage, doesn't document, or isn't prepared for the challenges of working with this veteran population, then you'll see it in your outcomes: low enrollments, missed milestones, or even worse, a breakdown in trust with the very people we're here to support. This is about choosing someone who embodies both empathy and execution. Core competencies to look for. So let's dig into what to actually look for when hiring. Yes, skills are important, but this role demands more than checking off a list. You want someone who practices trauma-informed care, understanding that behavior is often rooted in one's life experience. They can also document clearly, not just for compliance, but tell a full, respectful story of the veteran's journey. You want someone who is confident in outreach, can initiate contact, they can follow up, build partnerships, and don't wait to be told. You want someone with solid time management, juggling appointments, paperwork, job leads, and crisis response is a part of the job. And lastly, you want somebody familiar with data systems. They should understand that behind every number is a person and that numbers still matter for sustainability. You should think of these as non negotiables. Behavior qualities that drive results. So now let's go a little deeper than skills. Ask yourself, how does this person handle pressure? Are they resilient when a veteran ghosts them for a week? Do they take the initiative or wait to be told what to do? Or can they stay grounded when the plan falls apart? You're looking for someone who does not give up when things get hard, thinks around obstacles, practices empathy, accountability when they say, I understand, and still hold people to their goals. These qualities don't show up on paper or in a resume, but they do show up in how someone talks, what stories they share, and the energy they bring to the interview. If you want the right person to apply, you need to describe the role accurately. Be honest. This isn't a behind the desk job. It's field work, crisis response, deep documentation, and system navigation. Let people know they will be coordinating with the VA, managing community referrals, and helping people who may not always be ready to engage. They may have to go into homeless encampments, veteran treatment court, or interact in soup kitchens. Include a statement that encourages veterans and people with lived experience to apply. That shows intentionality and reinforces your commitment to inclusive, equitable hiring. Remember, job descriptions are marketing tools. You're setting the tone for the kind of energy, experience, and mission alignment you want. People want to work where they feel supported and where the work matters. So, in your job post, be sure to include potential perks like PTO, mileage reimbursement, hybrid schedules, or mental health days. And for your culture, you want to promote professional development such as attending certified trainings. And lastly, for impact, what makes your HVRP program stand out? You want to have a strategy on where you post. Idealist, LinkedIn, veteran job boards, your VA office, community-based nonprofits. These are where you can find the mission-driven professionals. And when you market your position with purpose, you draw in people who are ready to make a difference and an impact. The Department of Labor requires that each personnel position charged to the grant aligns with your most recent approved budget narrative. That means that if you've budgeted for one full-time case manager at 100% FTE, the time charged to the grant needs to stay within 10% of that figure. One common issue we see is programs hiring multiple part-time staff to fill one full-time position, often unintentional. If two people are splitting one position, they can only do that for 2 consecutive quarters. After that, it becomes a compliance concern. Also, if someone is working multiple HVRP grants, their total hours can't exceed 100% of the full-time position in a single quarter. The key takeaway here is to regularly check that your staffing model matches what is in your approved budget. This helps avoid findings and ensures your program remains in good standing with the Department of Labor. If you're unsure, reach out to your GOTA for clarification before adjusting your staffing plan. So, when it comes to resumes, here's the truth. A resume can only tell you so much about a potential applicant. Degrees and job titles don't tell you whether a person can connect with a veteran who's been in shelter, out of a correctional facility, or is struggling with some type of untreated trauma. So, you're looking for humility, curiosity, emotional intelligence, someone who knows how to build trust in difficult circumstances. So, pay attention to how they talk about past clients. Do they speak respectfully? Do they use people first language? That will tell you more than bullet points on a resume or in a CV. So look for clues in their tone, their ability to talk to people in crisis, and their willingness to learn. The interview is a window into how a person shows up under pressure. Move beyond the generic questions. Use real life scenarios to understand how they think and respond. So you may want to ask, what would you do if a veteran missed 3 job interviews in a row? How do you balance empathy with accountability? What strategy, when a veteran does not return your calls for a week, do you use? You want to hear not just for solutions, but their values, their tone, and their approach to navigating challenges. Here's great interview questions that will give you a clear picture. Tell me about a time you advocated for a client in crisis. What systems have you used for documentation? And how do you stay current with notes? How would you build rapport with a veteran who says, I don't trust social workers or case managers? Each question gets their judgment, style, and alignment with trauma-informed practices. You're just not hiring for knowledge, you're hiring for fit, flexibility, and heart. These questions give you insight into their judgment, style, and practical skills. Let's talk about some common hiring mistakes. First, hiring for credentials only. Experience in direct service, especially with people in crisis, matters more than any title. Also, just because someone is a veteran, that does not mean they have the case manager mindset. Second, ignoring cultural fit. Someone can technically be great, but clash with your team's communication style or mission. And third, rushing the hiring process. I get that there's pressure to fill the position, but trust me, the wrong hire costs more than an open seat. Be slow to hire and fast to onboard the right person. As they say in the Navy, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Not assessing real world skills. Use role plays and case scenarios in the interview process. Overlooking trauma informed experience, ask them how they supported people through homelessness, mental health challenges, or reentry from incarceration. Leaving the team out of the process. This person will be in meetings, making decisions, and representing the program. Your team's input is critical. Hiring should feel like a collaborative decision and not a solo effort. In recent years, the Department of Labor received consistent feedback from grantees across the country about the difficulty in retaining qualified case managers and employment specialists. One of the leading causes? Wages simply did not reflect the level of responsibility or cost of living in many service areas. As a direct response to this, the PY25 FOA included criteria focused on specifically compensation. Applicants are now evaluated on whether their salaries for case managers, employment specialists, or equivalent roles meet or exceed the 10th percentile in their service area based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS. To help grantees standardize this, the Department of Labor recommends using the BLS benchmark for eligible interview government programs in the zip code where the service is being delivered. So, if you haven't done this already, make sure that your pay structure aligns with this benchmark moving forward. It's not just about compliance, it's about retention and respect for the essential work of our frontline staff. We can't expect high impact work if we do not offer high integrity compensation. Congratulations, you made the new hire. Success starts on day one. Set expectations clearly, provide weekly check-ins, case notes, enrollment targets, service coordination, offer a structured onboarding plan. Introduce them to systems, referral pathways, and cultural norms. Think of it like this. You're not just handing them a desk, you're welcoming them to your mission. Clarify what success looks like by outlining weekly case notes, follow-ups, and outcome goals from the start. Provide a solid onboarding and include documentation reviews. This helps the team build habits and aligned with funding requirements and best practices. And don't stop at onboarding. Meet regularly during the first 90 days. Coach them through the highs and the lows. Offer learning opportunities, workshops, shadowing, peer learning groups. Your investment in training isn't just for them, it boosts retention, performance, and morale. New staff thrive when they feel guided, supported, and challenged to grow. It's important to go beyond hiring and making sure you have the tools, knowledge, and community support to thrive. One of the best new resources NVTAC offers beginning September 2025 is the monthly NVTAC New Hire Onboarding. This live training is designed specifically for case managers, employment specialists, and other new HVRP staff. It provides a strong foundation in HVRP service delivery, documentation, and trauma-informed care. Encourage your new hires to attend early on. It helps them feel confident and connected from the start. And don't stop there. NVTAC offers a range of ongoing learning opportunities and communications to keep your team informed and engaged. Signing up for our new newsletter ensures you're not missing key deadlines or updates. The Microlearnings series provides quick, focused refreshers on core topics. Our community of practice lets you share and learn with peers across the country, and our VLCs offer a deep dive with expert-led discussions that directly respond to the challenges you may face in HVRP. Let's bring it all together now. Hiring an HVRP case manager is not an HR function. It's a strategy move that directly affects your impact. When you hire someone who is aligned with your mission, committed to results, and grounded in empathy, you build a team that changes lives. Take your time, trust your gut, use the tools we've discussed today, and make your next hire someone you're proud to hand the keys of this important work to. So choose wisely. Thank you so much for being here and for your continued dedication to serving veterans with dignity and impact. If you have any questions or want to brainstorm ideas for hiring, onboarding, or building a trauma-informed team culture, NVTAC is always happy to support. Let's keep building strong teams, hiring with intention, and showing up for our veterans in ways that truly matter. You can always contact us at nvtac@dol.gov. Until next time, thank you.